How's it going today, Jera Bears? Welcome back and welcome new people that are yet to subscribe, but you should. Today we're going to talk about minimalism and just in case items. Alright, today let's talk about minimalism and just in case items, the items that holding us back, the items that we keep holding on to because we're afraid, because minimalism is hard, because minimalism is not everything in my life, because I can't get rid of this stuff because I need them. Minimalism, you need to shove it. Just in case items create a lot of stress and anxiety for a lot of people because a lot of people have been in a situation where they didn't have the item, they weren't prepared, they were frustrated, they felt like they had to buy that, they didn't have the money for it, something happened, and then it created a little bit of trauma in your life. So then because of that trauma, you have then now hoarded onto certain weird items just in case something happens. I have a great example of this, trying to prepare for events that may or may not happen and holding on to these items just in case. This is an extreme example, but it is one that frustrated me to no end regardless. I got told by one of my friends that I did not have enough stuff in case of an earthquake. I did not have enough water. I did not have enough spare food of everything in case of an earthquake. Because we live in Los Angeles, we are on a fault line. It's a possibility, high probability. I have been here 9 years. We have been okay. When I first moved to Los Angeles, I was terrified of it happening. So much so that I did have tons of water stored in the apartment just in case it happened. I had some of that water after a year. The plastic wore out and it just leaked water everywhere because no earthquake happened because I didn't keep checking it because, it was there just in case. And here it is 9 years later. Had I still been keeping all that stress and anxiety and fear of an earthquake happening, just in case, keeping all these items just in case, I would have been lugging around that stuff for 9 years. And I know that there are a lot more natural disasters happening, and it is a possibility. And there is water in the house. And there is a whole giant bag of oats. Honestly, if I had to eat oats, I'd have oats for me, Freckles, and Brandon for days. My goal also wouldn't be to stay in a situation locked down, sitting here just using my just in case water and my just in case foods and stay here helpless. I'd venture out. Is it not safe? What? I'm leaving. If that happens, I'm leaving. I'm not going to stay here and choose to be a victim. I'm going to choose to be strong, lead my family to somewhere else that we feel is more safe. Staying is not always the answer. So anyways, my friend got really mad at me because they're like, what are you going to feed Freckles if it happens? Like, you have no food for him. And I was like, I have all kinds of stuff. The lifestyle that I eat, there is usually always fresh food here instead of powdered food. And there is water. And if there is not enough water, we go. If I don't have water, we're in a bad situation, break in and I steal water from somewhere. I think that given the situation being an emergency, you don't know what you are capable of doing. And I know what I would be willing, some of the things that I would be willing to do to protect, save, and help my family. So I'm not worried about it. And if I spend all the time worrying about this possible natural disaster, which is a natural disaster that we have zero control over, when it might happen and everything, there's only so much you can prepare for. Letting go of that preparation, the idea that you are prepared for it. What happens if during the earthquake, something falls and smashes all your food and locks it in and traps it and all that preparation you had in there anyway is gone? Anyways, it's a possibility. Believing that you are strong and capable enough to do without these items in the case that you might need them is key. So that's the extreme example of just in case items. Just something recently that just bugged the crap out of me because it was somebody else pushing all their fear on me and trying to stress me out and trying to justify them trying to validate their fears by me also then becoming scared. And since I wouldn't back down, fall into that, then made them more frustrated. So I believe I am capable and I can do what I need to do. Now I'll figure things out. And living in a state of fear is what got you into the situation you were in the first place if you're not living the life you want to be living. So being brave is what gets you out of that trench. All right, but let's talk about just in case items on a smaller scale in the regards to minimalism, getting rid of stuff, having trouble getting rid of some of these items just in case we need them, just in case, but what if? Yes, what if? What if the situation happens, but also what if it doesn't? That is possible. Sometimes we will buy stuff for a situation that has just happened, say in the example that I had when I got the rash after the flight in Australia and I had the claw and it was all inflamed and my hand was all swollen. I had the eczema rash, all crazy, insane, allergic reaction. And I ordered some of those Aveeno oatmeal bath packets. And now I have a whole box of those. I used one of them. I also did not like it. I did not care for it. It made me itchier. But now I have a whole box of it. And the other day I was thinking, I was like, oh, I should keep these just in case it happens again. That's negative thinking. It's negative thinking in that you're thinking about that event happening again. It was kind of a crazy, weird sort of event thing that had happened, and me holding on to a box of this thing that I bought just in case this happens to me again is almost like wishing for it to happen to me again. I don't want that to happen again. I want to be like free and clear and not have any sort of weird allergic reactions again. And I decided, I was like, no, if I hold on to this, I am wishing for it to happen again. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to give it away. Somebody else that needs it and afford it can have it for free, as opposed to me holding on to something that I'm not even using. So for these items that you might be keeping and not using because you're holding on to them just in case a situation may or may not ever happen, I'm going to tell you it's okay to let it go. And you don't have to let everything go all at once. It doesn't have to happen all at once. This is not an all at once process. There are some people who do that and they get rid of all their stuff overnight and that's it, they're done. But they haven't necessarily worked through some of their issues of why they had the stuff in the first place. And if you want to be a stronger minimalist, you want to be a stronger person, just stronger overall, actually dealing with the reason of why you are keeping the item, period, is key. So for some of the things that you haven't used, if you haven't used this stuff in a year, get rid of it. So start your decluttering process like that. Declutter by getting rid of stuff that you haven't used in a year. Go through the whole house, do that. Then in a week or so, when you're feeling good again, you're feeling pumped up, you want to try minimalism again, let me minimize some more, you go back through and declutter everything you haven't used in the past 6 months. Exclusion is winter clothing, especially if you live in a cold climate. It's a little different because you don't necessarily use that in the summer, but you need it in the winter, different kind of area. And then after you've done that, maybe you don't feel like getting rid of anything because you feel like you have minimized so much you've gotten rid of so much, you're doing so good, you're jamming, da 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 da. And then you're all of a sudden getting the itch again. You're like, I think something's holding me back. Something's tying me down. Let me go back through my minimalism booklet and let's do this stuff again. Now let's get rid of the stuff we haven't used in the past 3 months. Okay, great. Oh man, last time I did this, I had no idea I could get rid of more. Now I got rid of more. Awesome. The more you go through this process, the more frequently you go through all this. For the majority of the items that I have, I use, with the exception of clothes because those vary through the week, I use most of the items that I have almost every single day. Does that mean all of them? No. But the majority of them, yes, 90%, not including clothes, of the items that I have, I use almost every single day. And even right now, I feel like I have too much that I need to declutter. That will be another video. But it is always a process and it's always ongoing and it will change in your life. There will be items that maybe you got rid of because you're like, this does not facilitate the life I am currently living. And then in 6 months from now, you've grown, you've changed. And some of those items you had before, you're like, you know what? I want to be doing art again. I got rid of a lot of my art supplies. It's okay to repurchase things that you are going to utilize in your life. I think that's part of the thing is like, oh, I got rid of that and I shouldn't have got rid of that because now I want it again. It's like, no, you got back to this point because you let that stuff go. That might not have ever made it back to this point where you wanted to do art as much as you wanted to do it again if you hadn't have let it go 6 months ago. You are more capable now, and living in regret, thinking that, oh, I shouldn't have gotten rid of this or I shouldn't have got rid of this. I could have been prepared for this. So what? We could always be more prepared. But what's most important to be most prepared is this, our mental strength and being strong inside of our heads, of not beating ourselves up and making ourselves feel bad over silly little things that in 100 years from now do not matter. In like 10 years from now probably will not matter. So if you can realize that getting rid of some of those just in case items will help to propel you further in your life, and that even if you do later on down the line want to buy them, you are a different person now in the future than you were the person that holding onto them. You're buying them out of strength instead of holding onto them out of fear. Because the whole point of minimalism and decluttering, downsizing, getting rid of stuff, living with less, sparking joy in the items, all these crazy nonsense, silly little things we are doing is so that we are stronger, we are happier, we are healthier, we feel more capable, we are more alive, we are able to live more. You're trying to fight against that fear, being scared, unwilling to try new things, unwilling to live our lives. And it all results down from stuff, but because the stuff is tied to emotional issues that we all have. Will you ever feel done? I don't know. I feel like it is an ongoing process because new events happen to us every single day. And don't let little traumas that might happen to you that create stress and anxiety dictate years and years of your life of holding on to things. So I hope that helps you in dealing with decluttering, downsizing, getting rid of some of your just-in-case items, really getting the most out of minimalism, and facilitating a life you would like to be living instead of a life you feel like you fell into. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to put some comments in the comment section below, and ideally, what I would like you to put down there is, after you watch this video, is get rid of something that you've been holding on to just in case. And put down below what it was. What item did you get rid of that you were holding on to just in case of what? If you don't want to say just in case of what, you don't have to. What item did you get rid of? Okay? If you get rid of one item from this video, that's a success. If you get rid of more, yes! Awesome. All right, and if you are new here and you like this video, subscribe. Check out my other videos. I got amazing content here that I am trying to figure out how to get better searched in the YouTube search bar. It is struggling. But I make videos every single day right now, so don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, @JeraSky, because I'm Jera Sky. Sky's the limit. Woo! Now here it is 9 later, staying happens, but they doesn't, if you like this, yeah.